Hello guys, and welcome to round 3 of the F1 2019 career mode, and we are here for the Chinese Grand Prix, and we are getting ready for the first practice session currently. After the last race in Bahrain we got P6. It was a really exciting race. We had a nice battle with Lucas Weber last time out, and let's hope we can have an equally as good race today in China. So here were the results from practice 1. Sebastian Vettel went quickest from Max Verstappen by 1/10, and then Leclerc was 4/10 behind, so it was not that close between the two Ferraris. We were 11th in practice 1. Practice 1 was also a wet session, so that is interesting because the rest of the weekend is dry. So practice 1 was wet. I got 11th and Alex Albon got 13th. Results points from practice 1, we got 45, which brought us to 2,638. And with the reputation, we didn't move up with Toro Rosso, but we did move up with every other team except for Ferrari and Renault. Respect level, the rookie to the veteran part is like going further to the right. And this was practice 2. It was a bone dry session after what was wet in practice 1. And there was a mix of tyres. We had some people on the top 3 on the softs, Leclerc and Hamilton on the mediums, Bottas got P1 and Gasly and Weber. And then Vettel on the hards as well as Verstappen. I was on the mediums, and Norris and Perez on the mediums too, and then 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th on the softs. So it was a mix of strategies there. Although it is only practice 2, but still. We were 14th in practice 2. And Alex Albon was out of the top 15 somewhere, I think. But I don't remember. Our results points after practice 2. We got 305, and that ended up making 2,943. So that was a very good session in terms of resources. And our reputation with every team has gone up after that session somehow, after being 14th. Which is kind of weird. But yeah. And then the sportsmanship. We have more sportsmanship than showmanship. I don't really understand what showmanship means. I know what sportsmanship means, but I don't understand what showmanship means. So, yeah. And now here were the results of practice 3. We were high up in the field. We were P5, 1.5 seconds behind Hamilton, and 2 medium runners were only 1/10 behind them because we're on the softs. Then Alex Albon, our teammate, was 13th. So, so 5th and 13th in practice 3. Let's see what qualifying brings us. I'm just saying, just not doing the practice sessions anymore. Like, I'm not bothering to show the practice programs and all that. They're getting kind of boring to show at this point. I can still drive them, but they're just getting boring at this point to just show on the video. So the practice programs, so 30, 30, 30, 15, and 25 equals 130 resource points, which brings us to 2,543 because we did use a bit of resources for some upgrades. Well, not really upgrades, just a HPP thing or whatever it's called. And the rookie thing goes up. So we're getting close to that veteran level. Maybe we'll get that in a few seasons' time. But the messages, Emma's wishing us good luck for the qualifying. And the weather forecast is going to be dry for quali and race. So it's going to be it's going to be sunny and cloudy. It's going to be partly cloudy with sunny conditions for qualifying and the race. And then Jeff is bringing us a help guide the circuit. So let's head to qualifying for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Welcome to Shanghai, China, for what I've no doubt is going to be a fantastic F1 qualifying session. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
So here we are in the garage for the qualifying session in China, round number 3 of the season, and we are going to go out first on the softs because we're planning to start on the mediums today. Because the softs overheat a lot in the session, so we're just gonna do a very slow soft lap because we're planning to start on the mediums for today's race. So here we are on our first run on the soft tyres. Here we go into the final corner. Where are we going to be? What's the lap going to be? 136.3. As I said, it was a slow lap, so we are 20th at the moment behind the two Williams of Russell and Kubica. So yeah, as I was saying, as you can see, the tyres are already overheating in turn 1, 103 degrees on the front left. So that's quite an issue, to be honest, if I say so. So here we go, going back into the pits. We're going to go onto the mediums, because we're going to start on the mediums. In the league races, I started on the mediums. I went to the hards in China, so AFR China was a wet race, so you didn't really see the strategies there, but SRL in China was a dry race, so go watch that, and you can see the medium to hard strategy. That wasn't really a good race for me, but it was the right strategy for the race nonetheless. I was planning medium to hard strategy for that race, but I did get damaged quite a few times because I don't know what was that. I didn't understand that race at all, that one in China, because in SRL I just didn't understand it at all. Like, I got damaged, there was desync and lag everywhere. I didn't understand it. Anyway, on to the medium run, and this is our final run of the session with 4 minutes to go. So here we go into the final corner of this China, on this Shanghai track, into the DRS zone, and coming down towards turn 1, we are starting the lap, and now into turn 1, which is very fast and then goes very slow towards the exit of the corner, down to 3rd gear, through turn 2 and into turn 3, 2nd gear, down to 2nd gear. We're already a couple of tenths up. As now coming into turn 4 and through turn 5 and into the turn 6 hairpin, braking all the way down to 2nd gear. As now coming on to turn 7, a flat out left-hander, which is not actually flat out in this quali session. As now into turn 8, that's a 4th gear corner. As now coming into the double left-hander of turn 10, or turn 9 and then turn 10. We did lift a bit there through the second part of that double left-hander, but now into turn 11, down to 2nd gear, and now into the triple right, or is it double right? I think it's a double right-hander. I think it's actually, no, it's a triple right-hander. A lot of understeer through that corner. We checked the tire temperatures, 105 degrees, so even the mediums overheat this track. Onto the straight now, DRS wide open, flat out, towards the hairpin. 334, I think that was, or 324. Into the hairpin now, going down to 1st gear, as now through into the last corner of this Shanghai track, into the final corner, 4th gear, and onto the pit straight. Where are we going to be? We are 1.5 seconds up on our time, but we are only in 18th. So we are only 18th place, so we're going to start from the back of the grid at this rate. So, I mean, starting from the back of the grid is fun, but it's not the greatest qualifying position. not the greatest qualifying position at all, because we have to go through traffic and all that. We even start buying one of the Williams, I think. Or we start buying one Williams. I don't know. But now coming into the pits, that's the end of our session. With 34 seconds to go, we go into the pit lane. And yeah, that's something. So we retire from the session, and we are going to be somewhere near the back of the grid. Or we are going to be at the back of the grid. This is at least... So Lewis Hamilton grabs pole position for Mercedes by only 1,000th from Sebastian Vettel in second. Then Charles Leclerc in third, ahead of Max Verstappen. They are separated by 2,000, so very close qualifying. Pierre Gasly in fifth, ahead of Valtteri Bottas, and then Sergio Perez and Devon Butler in eighth, and then Lucas Faber in ninth. Then Nico Hulkenberg in 10th, and Kimi Raikkonen, then Kevin Magnussen. Alex Albon qualifies 13th, a decent position from our teammate. He qualifies us. Romain Grosjean in 14th, then Daniel Ricciardo in 15th for Renault, then Lando Norris for McLaren, and then Lance Stroll for Racing Point in 17th. And George Russell did indeed get ahead of us in 18th, and then me in 19th, and then Robert Kubica 20th. So we are actually in 19th for this qualifying session here in China. So that is second last, so we're going to have a nice race hopefully. And Alex Albon out-qualified us, but we are still leading the rivalry. We both completed qualifying, and but Alex Albon out-qualified us, so he has beaten us that way. 10 valid laps completed. So we've got 70 resource points in total, making us go 2,613 resource points in total. That was after qualifying here in China. Only Mercedes and Red Bull have a reputation going up. Quite interesting there, even though we did get 19th. I don't know why Mercedes and Red Bull are getting reputation up when I only qualified second last. That's pretty bad, to be honest.
A better session, but these things happen from time to time. Try to make up for it in the race.
So Emma is encouraging us for the race. It was a bad qualifying position, as she said, but let's try and make up for it in the race. So, yeah, Jeff is giving some advice. So let's head now to the race here in China. That is very true. Using the ERS properly.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's talk about Johansson. As with all the drivers at this level, they have a lot of ambition, but Formula One's a daunting step up from any other series, so expectations are high right from the start.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula One proves to be too much. But luckily in this case, I'd say they're doing a good, solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Gasly, Valtteri Bottas and Perez, Butler, Faber, Hulkenberg and Kimi Raikkonen, Magnussen, Albon, Charles Leclerc and Grosjean, Ricciardo, Norris, Lance Stroll and George Russell. Johansson and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
You were expected to be in a higher grid position than this. Let's push hard on the first few laps and move up a few places.
I agree with that, Jeff, that we should move up a few places, especially on lap 1 where all the traffic is. So here we are on the grid here in Shanghai, China, for round 3 of this career mode in the Chinese Grand Prix. We are starting second last on the grid. We are behind a Williams. Bad, isn't it? Well, let's see what will happen in the race. After this strategy of medium to hard, we'll be staying out for longer. We will be staying out for a longer stint than the most of the field. We're on the soft tyres, so here we are starting the formation lap. We're going to have to wait a long time because of all those cars going, and we're in 19th place, so we have to wait a long time. And there we go, let's go now. So that we are away for the formation lap here in China. We are behind George Russell on that Williams. And we need to warm these tyres because the mediums take a long time to warm up, just like the hards do as well. So, and we are on both those tyres today. The softs obviously warm up quicker because they are like quicker tyres, so they warm up quicker, and the mediums and the hards don't heat up or warm up as quickly. So we need to warm them up a lot on this formation lap here, and also warming up the brakes just like we did there. And see, the brakes are cold there, but now we're warming up the tyres. But look, as you can see, the brakes are really cold. Oh, we almost spun out there at the hairpin actually, so that's going to help our rear tyres, but not necessarily our front tyres. So here we go, we are heading towards the grid for round 3 of this F1 2019 career mode here in China. We are starting 19th place, but can we make a comeback through the field with this medium to hard strategy? Well, we're going to find out now, as we are lining up on the grid now in our 19th place grid slot, and we have the lights coming on for round number 3 of this career mode. It's away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix, and we've had a pretty bad start there, and Kubica has gone past us off the line, so that's a poor start. We are down into 20th place. So, into turn 1 we go. We are dive bombing up the inside of Robert Kubica into turn 2. He doesn't give us much space there, but we're going to give him space into turn 3. As now Stroll and Russell side by side, but Kubica has almost pushed us onto the grass there. As now coming into turn 6, we're going up the inside of Kubica once again, up the inside of the other Williams of George Russell, but now we're going to be side by side with Kubica as we come into the fast chicane, turn 7 and turn 8. We're going to go round the outside of the Williams of Kubica, and we get that position back into 19th. As now we are already into the second sector now of lap 1, and we are behind George Russell in the other Williams, with Lance Stroll just ahead of him, and ahead of Stroll is the McLaren. So here we go into the triple right-hander of turn 11, 12 and 13. Here we go, we're going to get a great exit, some great traction on George Russell in the other Williams, and we're going to go to the inside of him down towards the hairpin of turn 14. Here we go, coming into the hairpin. Are we going to go up the inside of George Russell and overtake him? Yes we are. We go up the inside of Russell and we get into 18th place. Kubica has also passed his teammate, so those two Williams are now fighting it out, but Kubica has got that place from George Russell. And here we go, starting the second lap of this Chinese Grand Prix. Next up is Lance Stroll in the Racing Point. And ahead of him is Lando Norris in the McLaren, and ahead of Norris is our teammate, Alex Albon. He has lost 2 places from his P13 start. So, that's quite unfortunate. Stroll is in P17 at the moment on lap 2 of this race here in China. And our tyre wear is already at 7%. And our ICE is at 65%, so maybe we need to change it for the next race. It's starting to wear out a bit. So now we go on to lap 2 and into the second sector, coming up to the last one. As now we are right behind Lance Stroll. We are close enough to go for a move where we don't have DRS quite yet because it's lap 2. So we are going to Rich Mix and overtake mode, and we are going to try and overtake the racing point of Lance Stroll. Coming into turn 14, are we going to get him? Yes, we're not quite there, but we're going to go for the switchback on him. Coming down towards the final corner, and we're going to go side by side. And Stroll is the inside line. We're going to go side by side with him, but we don't quite get the move. Stroll holds on, but we're going to go back into the slipstream, and we're going to go to the inside into turn 1 off Lance Stroll, and we get the position, do we? Yes, we do, on the inside of Stroll there, and we get into P17, so a nice move from us there. Stroll is also on the hard tyres, so that explains why he's really slow. Like, the racing point should be up there with the other midfield cars. Like, Sergio Perez got a podium last race in Bahrain after that crazy retirement for Charles Leclerc from the lead. As now, 3 laps later, on lap 5, we are catching up to the back of our teammate Alex Albon in the other Toro Rosso. Here we go. What's going to happen here between us and our teammate? Here we go. This is the first time I'm going to fight my teammate, because in Australia and Bahrain he was doing quite badly, but now here we go, DRS on our teammate Alex Albon. We're going to go to the inside of him, coming down towards turn 14 yet again. This is going to be the popular overtaking place of the day at turn 14, and we get the move done easily on our teammate. So that is us up into P16. And there is a Mercedes pitting already. And that's Valtteri Bottas, so he might have got damage from something there. But who knows? We are up into 15th now, and now we are behind Lando Norris in the McLaren. Here we go, coming down towards the straight and towards turn 14. And we don't have much ERS available to use, so that's not really a good idea for us there. But now into the hairpin. Lando Norris is behind the Alpha of Kimi Raikkonen. But now we're going to go for the switchback on the McLaren of Norris. Coming down towards the final corner, we're going to go side by side with him. But Norris will have the inside line into that final corner. But now there's a couple of people in the pits again, including the Alpha and the Renault. And now the Ferrari in the pits as well of Charles Leclerc. But now we're going to go to the inside of Lando Norris into turn 1. And we're going to go side by side with him into turn 2. We go to the inside line and we get the move done on Lando Norris. And we move up into P9 because some people pitted, including Charles Leclerc and Kimi Raikkonen. Actually no, I think Lucas Weber came into the pits actually in the other Alpha. Kimi Raikkonen is just ahead of us. So we go, coming onto the left-hander, the fast left-hander. We have a Renault and a Haas and an Alpha ahead of us. See what we can do with them. I think we got Grosjean and Raikkonen ahead of us, and I think also Ricciardo is there too. Now we're gonna go understeering wide off the track there, and that is gonna make us lose positions for sure. Yes, here comes Norris on the inside. We are back down to 10th place, and now here comes Alex Albon, our teammate. It's gonna be 3 wide coming down towards turn 14, but it's not quite gonna be the case there as Norris gets the move on us there, but Albon has got back at Lando Norris. He's coming to turn 14, or turn 16 I should say, the final corner. It's now the final corner now, and Alex Albon gets a double overtake and he gets up into the points positions. Here we go, we're going on the inside of Lando Norris into turn 1, but we've overshot it, and Lando Norris has got that move, he's got the overtake back, but now we're going to go back up the inside. There's a bit of contact, as Norris did not give us much room there. We're going to get a much better exit, and we're going to go to the inside once again on the McLaren of Norris, coming down towards turn 6, and are we going to go on the inside, or is he going to stay on the inside, or are we going to go round the outside? We are going to go round the outside of Lando Norris into turn 6 there, and we get ahead of him into turn 7, so that is P6 for us now. It's the people pitting. As now Alex Albon is ahead of us now into the final corner. Lap 9 of this Chinese Grand Prix. We have DRS on our teammate Alex Albon coming down towards turn 1. We're going to go to the inside of him into turn 1, and we are side by side with our teammate, the Toro Rossos side by side through turn 1 and 2. But now we are touching once again with someone through turn 2, and here comes Norris back on the inside through turn 2, and we are making slight contact there, but we stay ahead of Norris through turn 3, and now into turn 6, hairpin. We almost run into the back of our teammate there, but we keep that position from Norris, but Albon keeps the position from us. So this is a nice fight with our teammate. This is the first time we have fought with him for the whole season, because obviously in Australia and Bahrain he didn't do too well. So let's see what we can do with Albon now as we come into the double left-hander. As now onto lap 10 of the Chinese Grand Prix. I think it's our pit stop in a few laps time. All the soft runners have come into pit. That's some of the Ferraris and the Mercedes have come into pit. Now they're behind traffic. This might change the order up a bit. There we go. We got DRS available once again on our teammate Alex Albon. Are we going to go to the inside of him? Are we going to overtake him? Here we go. We're going to go to the outside of him through turn 14. And we are going to get that move. Are we? Yes, we are going to get the move done on Alex Albon in the Toro Rosso. We move up into the top 5 now, but that's only provisional because we haven't pitted yet. And Kimi Räikkönen currently, Roman Grosjean currently leading this race, I think. I don't know, one of the Haas's is leading this race, and then we got Ricciardo in second. Our Albon was coming back at us there through turn 1, but we defended the inside, and we keep that position. Anyway, one of the Haas's is leading right now from Renault, I think that's Ricciardo in second, and then there's obviously Grosjean in third and Raikkonen in fourth, so that means Magnussen's leading this race as of now, because he hasn't pitted yet. So Albon keeps that position, but now Sebastian Vettel, after his pit stop, is making his way up through the field. He is the effective leader of this race, so we are just going to let him past. We are going to let Sebastian Vettel pass into turn 14 there, and because we are not fighting him at all whatsoever, and he gets into that position. So that's the provisional race lead. Well, no, not the provisional, the effective race lead for Sebastian Vettel there. So it could be another Ferrari win today, like actually it was not Leclerc, sorry, my mistake. I think it was actually Bottas who retired in Bahrain, which gave Leclerc the win. So yeah, I think that's what happened. In Australia, Hamilton retired. So, and that gave Mercedes damage, and that's what made Sebastian Vettel win the race. So we've had 2 Ferrari wins so far this season. And now it could be a 3rd one in a row. But now, we're coming into the pits now for our first and only pit stop in this Chinese Grand Prix. And as I was saying, we could see another Ferrari win. It could be Vettel. So Vettel won in Australia and Leclerc won in Bahrain. So it'll be interesting to see Vettel win again. So here we go into the pits now. We're going on to the hard tyres, and that's a pretty decent pit stop. That was at least a 2-second pit stop. I think a 2.2, from what I remember, it was a 2.2 second pit stop. So we come out of the pits there, behind the Haas of Romain Grosjean. And we are in 18th place, because I think people in front of us haven't even pitted yet either. So that's a thing. So Romain Grosjean now, we are ahead of him into turn 6, so we're going to go for the dive. No, we're not. So we're going to keep cautious on these new tyres, because you know they could be cold and we could lose the brakes. These hard tyres take a long time to warm up as well, so it could be cold tyres and cold brakes with that. So our teammate is into the pits for his new tyres, as we are on the back of Romain Grosjean through into turn 14. Are we going to get, so there's Williams in the pits as well, and the Haas as well, so that's Magnussen in the pits, so we're behind Grosjean. As now coming out of the pits now, we are ahead of George Russell, and we are ahead of our teammate Alex Albon. So on lap 15, we are in P16 at the moment. The gap to the car behind is 2 seconds at least, but now we are trying to go up the inside of Romain Grosjean there, but he didn't see us on the inside, and he didn't leave us much room. But now there's Kimi Räikkönen in front. He looks very slow, which is kind of interesting. Kimi Räikkönen looks very slow right now. Grosjean is holding him up, and I think the McLaren of Lando Norris behind us is also getting caught. We're not getting caught, he's catching us. So here we go, on the inside of the Haas of Romain Grosjean. Are we going to get 15th place? Yes we are, but here we go on the inside of Kimi Räikkönen. No we're not, we have to back out of the move there, and Grosjean is trying to go on the outside of the Alpha. So now here we go, coming into the final corner now. Grosjean has the inside line on Kimi Räikkönen into the final corner. We're going to go on the inside as Räikkönen locks up, and we have got the position into 15th place there. As there's a racing point in the pits of Lance Stroll. Here we go. Romain Grosjean is in front of us. We are up into P14 now, so we made a decent comeback, but now we go up the inside of Grosjean once again, but we did not quite get the move there. And lap 16 of this Chinese Grand Prix, we're heading closer to that points finish. Only 4 places away. So here we go, onto the triple right-hander. We have the DRS available on the Haas of Romain Grosjean. Here we go, coming onto the straight, and we go to the inside of Romain Grosjean, and we're going to get that position into 13th. But Grosjean's braking late on the outside, but we get that position on the inside there. So that's 13th place for us. And we are 3 places away from the points, and we got Daniel Ricciardo next up in the Renault. So Valtteri Bottas has pitted again, so he's having a disastrous race in that Mercedes. Mercedes just not having a good race, so we have a yellow flag up ahead. What has happened? Up ahead, someone has had an issue, and it's Hulkenberg. Nico Hulkenberg has retired from this Chinese Grand Prix, the first retirement of this race, just in front of his teammate Daniel Ricciardo as well. That is Hulkenberg's second retirement in 2 races, after his engine blew up right in front of me in Bahrain. So let's see what happened this time. I think it looks like another mechanical failure, so that is typical Renault for you. Renault always has those mechanical failures, and fortunately it happened right in front of Daniel Ricciardo. So once again, Hulkenberg blew up in front of us. So they're behind Ricciardo now on lap 20 of this Chinese Grand Prix, and we're going out into turn 7. And we have a safety car deployed. What has happened? Something has happened up ahead as well. Sebastian Vettel's out of the session. So that's from the lead. So that's the leader of this race. So we might not have a Ferrari win today. We have had a Ferrari win in Australia and Bahrain, and we might not have one today, as Sebastian Vettel is out of this Chinese Grand Prix after his smoky engine. After a smoky engine, that's the second retirement of this race. What a dramatic turnaround there after what Bottas retired from the lead last race. Now Vettel retires from the lead in China, and that hands the lead to the Red Bull. So we could see a Red Bull victory today, but there is one Ferrari in this race, remember, so Charles Leclerc is still in the race, and he is right behind that Red Bull of, I think Max Verstappen has taken the lead in this race. So we are now under safety car conditions on lap 21. We are behind Daniel Ricciardo. We are actually in the points now because of that. Because of Sebastian Vettel's retirement, we are now in the points. So after starting in 19th, we are in the points. So that is good to see. That is very good to see. How we are in the points. So basically, from that, we have gained 9 places, and we are in the points paying positions right now. So we made a decent comeback. I think the safety car has helped us quite a bit as well. But we are going to try and overtake our teammate. Well, not a teammate. Our teammate's behind us somewhere. But Ricciardo is now. The Red Bull of Max Verstappen is controlling the field. As we come on to the safety, we go to the safety car restart. Here we go into the hairpin now, and here we go. We are restarting this race here in China, and Max Verstappen is leading the way, and we've got Ricciardo ahead of us there, and Valtteri Bottas is on the medium tyres right now, so it looks like he will probably be overtaking me soon. As now into turn 1, let's see what he does. He has got right up to us already. Bottas is on the inside of us, and we're just going to let him pass there. We're just going to let him go because he is quicker, and we are not fighting Mercedes in this championship, so we're just going to let Bottas go. And we've got the Haas of Grosjean right behind us once again. We are behind Valtteri Bottas, and now coming into turn 6. As now into turn 6 and turn 7 on.
You can use overtake to
And now
get
into
past.
turn 7, we're behind Valtteri Bottas. We're actually out of the points right now because of this. So we go on to the last 5 laps of this race, lap 23. And Bottas on the inside of Daniel Ricciardo into the hairpin, into turn 14. And are we going to get him? Or is he going to get Ricciardo? They're side by side through the into the final corner, and Ricciardo is the inside line, but now they are losing time, which means we are going to try and get both of them, but we did not try that. But Bottas will have the inside line, and he will get Daniel Ricciardo into turn 1. Yes, he will, but now we are going to go up the inside of Ricciardo, and maybe Bottas as well, but not quite. But now we are side by side with Ricciardo through into turn 3. As now through into the left-hander, banging wheels with Daniel Ricciardo now. Coming down towards the hairpin at turn 6. And banging wheels again up the inside. We've lost our braking point because of that. And now we have hit Bottas slightly and almost spun him. So that was that was caused by the touch from Ricciardo there. So quite interesting. Turn 8 now. And onto the straight, we are behind the Red Bull of Pierre Gasly, coming down onto the straight. Are we going to overtake him into the hairpin? We don't have DRS, so we don't have the advantage. We don't have the straight line advantage. Here we go to the outside of Pierre Gasly into the hairpin. And we're going to switch back to the inside, but we did touch Ricciardo a bit there. And we're going to go side by side with Gasly. And the Toro Rosso is about to overtake a Red Bull. And on the outside, we get past Pierre Gasly. And Ricciardo is trying to go on the inside as well. And now there's 3 cars behind us all battling. And Ricciardo on the inside of us. Ricciardo, Grosjean and Gasly are keeping their positions. But Ricciardo's back up the inside. And he gets back up into P9. But now we're up the inside once again of Ricciardo into the turn 2 and 3. We're so close to his side pod there. But now we go side by side once again. And we are going to drop back down to P10. So, there's a bit of contact on the rear of Ricciardo's car there. But Ricciardo has got us back on lap 25. 3 laps to go in this Chinese Grand Prix, round 3 of this career mode. So now going into the straight with DRS available now. On Daniel Ricciardo now. Coming down onto the straight, we are going to absolutely shoot past him. Coming into turn 14, and we get back into 9th place, and this will give us 2 points. So in the first 3 races at the moment we'll get points at the rate we're going. 10th place in Australia, 6th place in Bahrain, and possibly 9th place in China. So lap 26 starts, and we've got back past Ricciardo into P9. Lucas Weber is up next in the Alfa Romeo. He is chasing down the Haas and the Racing Point ahead of him. So they go on to lap 26 of this Chinese Grand Prix, and Ricciardo has a whole straight to try and get us back, and he's using the advantage of that straight, and he's going to go to the outside into the hairpin. And is he going to get past? No, he isn't, not quite, but Ricciardo's on the outside through the hairpin, and we're going to go back on the outside now. We are side by side into the final quarter, and that is the move back. We get the position back on Ricciardo, but using DRS as we head onto the penultimate lap, we have actually no ERS at all. Ricciardo goes to the outside of us once again into turn 1. Grosjean on the inside of Ricciardo into turn 1, and up the inside of me as well. But there's been contact, but Grosjean fails to get past us as well, so we are doing some great defending of this 9th place. This is it's going to be a points position if we don't get a penalty. So here we go into turn 6 and now into lap 27, the penultimate lap. And Grosjean will try and get us onto the straight now. And he should be able to. As now here we go, DRS for the Haas of Romain Grosjean. He is going to get past us into P9, and Ricciardo's on the back of us as well. He's going to go to the outside. We're going to go back up the inside of Grosjean into the hairpin, and that is an amazing move once again into that hairpin at turn 14, and we get back up into 9th place. So that's a great defending from us. But now Grosjean is DRS, and then Ricciardo's on the inside of Grosjean once again. This is a great battle for this position, and now we're on to the final lap. So this is going right down to the wire. Ricciardo on the inside of Grosjean to the Haas, coming through into turn 2 and 3, and Grosjean will hold on to that points position, the last points position. As now into the hairpin now, Charles Leclerc is your race winner here in China after Max Verstappen led after the the safety car restart. Leclerc did take the lead from Max Verstappen, so that means that's 3 wins in a row for Ferrari, and we take 9th place, another points position here in China. It's another points finish for us in this career. 10th in Australia, 6th in Bahrain, and 9th in China. Here we go, Charles Leclerc coming on the top step of the podium. Vettel won in Australia and Leclerc won in Bahrain and in China, so that's 2 races in a row for Leclerc and 3 races in a row for Ferrari. A great result for the Ferrari team once again. Another win, 3 wins in a row. Max Verstappen is 2nd for Red Bull, and Lewis Hamilton on the podium as well for Mercedes in 3rd. So that's Ferrari, Red Bull and Mercedes, 3 different teams on the podium here in China. So Charles Leclerc is your race winner here in China by only 0.4 of a second from Max Verstappen. It was a very close battle for the lead at the end there. Max Verstappen 2nd, then Lewis Hamilton 3rd, and then Valtteri Bottas 4th. A good comeback from him after pitting twice. Kevin Magnussen 5th, Devon Butler 6th, that's his first points. Sergio Perez in 7th, and Lucas Weber 8th, then me in 9th, and Daniel Ricciardo in 10th. Stealing that from Romain Grosjean at the last second in 11th, and Lando Norris in 12th, Lance Stroll 13th, Kimi Raikkonen 14th, Alex Albon finishes in 15th, then George Russell, then Pierre Gasly, then Robert Kubica, and then the retirements of this race are Sebastian Vettel and Nico Hülkenberg, the 2 German drivers.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
I'm pretty happy.
There wasn't much between you and Lucas by the finish today.
There wasn't much between me and Lucas Weber, only 1 position, but I think that he has a... I think that he sets a high standard, so if I can match
You
it...
were cutting your way through the field during the race.
I was cutting my way through the field that race. The team has done a fantastic job with the power unit, upgrading the power
Your team
unit
must be
after that last
ecstatic with how
race.
you're performing.
I think the team is pretty ecstatic, to be honest. Like, I've got a P6 already, so I'm really glad I can
Do you
live
think
up
you
to
were
their
lucky not to
expectations
end
as
your
well,
race with that
because
crash?
I'm happy when I do. Well, this question, I don't remember crashing at all, so no comment on that one, because I don't remember crashing in
Great.
the race.
Well, that's everything.
Yeah, thanks, Claire. I don't know why you were saying something about crashing when I didn't crash, but anyway, thanks. Yeah, so we are winning the rivalry right now with Alex Albon by 4 points. After we finished ahead of him, we both finished the race and we were both penalty free, and Alex Albon had the faster lap, which was interesting. With the resource points now and 100 points, oh my god, a lot of resource points here. So we're going to get 343, which brings us to 2,456. So that is the resource points after the Chinese Grand Prix. Our reputation with Toro Rosso has gone up after going from 19th to 9th in this race here in China. With every team except for Ferrari, I think it was, and some other team as well. And everything goes up in this part of the thing.
Remember to select the driver that you consider your rivals from the rivalry screen on the workstation. Performing well against
So, we are about to
better terms when it comes to our contract.
pick our rival.
Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
So we're about to pick our rival for the season ahead, and we also got an invitational event coming up. But I don't know, but I may have not recorded that. Can't see it in my files. I don't know if I recorded that or not. Obviously I record these before I do the commentary, so I know if I did it or not. I don't know if I did. So if I didn't, then I can't show you guys the invitational event. So yeah, the next race is obviously in Baku, which is a fun track. It's probably my favourite street circuit of the season. Oh yeah, the championship standings, I never saw those. So Leclerc is leading by 16 points, so Verstappen, then Vettel, then Hamilton, Magnussen, Perez, Weber, Grosjean, Bottas, and then me. I don't know where I am, I think I'm 10th at the moment. From those championship standings, I think because he was my F2 rival, or F2 teammate actually, and I was battling him in Bahrain, and that was a nice battle. I think Luke Weber should be our rival for the season, so it's going to be a hard one to beat actually, because his AI is pretty quick. So hopefully you enjoyed that Chinese Grand Prix. It was a pretty decent comeback from 19th to 9th, and see you guys next time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and goodbye.